Alrighty, welcome to part 32 of the Sonic Frontiers playthrough. So in a bit we're going to be doing our last cyberspace stage.
Finally!
Yay!
I know, right?
I don't want to look at this blue hedgehog anymore.
Yeah, so for a little perspective on what's going on behind the scenes, this is our final recording session for this game. So that'll be parts 32, 33, and 34. One of the session just came out after part 11 just released on YouTube. So we've still been recording these as it's been uploading onto YouTube.
Yeah.
Just because the scheduling has gotten a little bit behind. Nothing much. Thank you, Alien Isolation. I mean, then also, we're recording this on October 7th, which means it's the weekend after the Final Horizon update just came out. And,
that's right. I forgot that was coming out.
Yeah.
Is it any good?
No.
It's
I'm sorry to say.
You know it's also topical for this weekend, but won't be when it comes out. When this episode comes out, Assassin's Creed Mirage just came out.
Oh, did it?
A game that I could not be any less fucking interested in, because it just looks like another Assassin. It looks like they slapped a new title and a couple new mechanics on fucking Origins.
I don't know how this happened, by the way.
What the fuck?
Because it's Sonic Team made the game.
That explains.
Oh, you went through a billboard and died too.
Yeah.
The average Sonic experience.
The average Sonic experience, man. Yeah. Well, it's almost as if Assassin's Creed has been the same freaking game since ever.
I know. I lost interest in the series like fucking 15 years ago, man.
Yeah. So it's just kind of...
That's a lie. I was 4 years old 15 years ago. Or like 5 years old. Happy birthday to me in a week.
No, 15 years. I think that's when the first game came out.
Yeah. I just remember I never got interested in Assassin's Creed, but I played Origins and it was like solid, but like then I played what was the last one? Valhalla, and it just felt like Origins in a new location. And maybe I'm gonna catch shit for saying this, but Mirage just looks like the same map as Origins to me. It's like the exact same like type of locale, like a desert.
I thought, honestly,
desert
they were all in
civilization.
deserts.
I got bored of them. They don't feel different enough to me. Like with Zelda, every fucking title feels like very different atmospherically, other than like even the ones that are very similar to each other still feel really different, right?
They feel different, but they also have that same kind of homogeneous. Yeah, homogeneous in a good way. Unlike the Sonic franchise,
and puzzles feel very different.
Unlike the Sonic franchise, which does do different things every single time, yet we hate all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No, I see what you mean about Zelda. Like, they can figure out how to make a new, unique gimmick while also keeping
same
the
thing with Mario. Same thing with Mario.
Same thing with Mario.
Except for Galaxy 1 and 2, which are
honestly they have numbers in them.
Yeah, but like even then, like Sonic 1, 2, and 3, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 feel different than each other very much, in my opinion. I think Sonic Adventure 2 feels very different with its locales and its gameplay than its predecessor.
As long as it has a better story too. I mean,
it does. It does, and it has a more interesting way of progressing through it.
Right.
With the different characters being on like teams and shit.
Yeah, a different way of progressing through it means stage to stage and not fucking stupid overworld bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zelda's kind of crazy. It's crazy how much different Tears of the Kingdom feels than Breath of the Wild, even though I was terrified it was going to just feel like Breath of the Wild with
I remember you talking
to that.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. And,
but then I played it and I was like, holy shit, this feels like, I don't know. I thought Breath of the Wild was one of the craziest fucking games I ever played when it came out. Like, it was so so much shit to do, so much like of the sense of adventure that I'd always wanted out of a Zelda game as a kid. It was like Twilight Princess in terms of the epicness, but it added like the freedom aspect that Twilight Princess could never grasp. Because it's super fucking linear.
Tutorial section haters be like, yeah.
I will openly state, I fucking hate the intro to Twilight Princess. I think it's really good for establishing the, it establishes a sense of normalcy, which makes it hit harder when things start going wrong and get interesting, you know? But, God, it's too long. It should have, they could have easily, I would have been okay with it if it was like an hour to get to like the first dungeon, maybe an hour and a half, but it takes, if you've never played it before, it takes like 3 hours to get to the first dungeon. Hell, it took me 3 hours on my latest playthrough, and I've played through it like 30 something times in my life.
Ghost defeated, also known as the only guardian that I could defeat into the Final Horizon update. Oh man,
I got really close to beating one of the like upgraded tower bosses or whatever in the Final Horizon, and I think he was literally down to like a pixel of health, and then I fucking died, and I was like, no, I don't care him anymore.
Damn. Yeah, no, like Final Horizon has the what you said, the exact opposite problem that the base game has.
Yeah, because I mean I think because you've said it like multiple times, like the combat is like super easy because like you barely even level up your attack or whatever, and you just decimate health bars even for like the Titan bosses and stuff. But like with the Final Horizon, all of the Guardian bosses are like super upgraded, so they do they're like super fast and have tons of like new moves that like have never been in the game before, and like and it also doesn't help that like every character who isn't Sonic has barely any combat abilities, so like it's the exact opposite. Whereas like in like the base game, it's super easy. It's near to impossible in Final Horizons.
You know what change they didn't make in Final Horizons that pisses me off? They still did not make Master Ninja have blue hair and a yellow headband and rename him Tyler Blevins.
Someone make that a mod?
And then he says, "Not enough movement," every single time that he kills you or that he hits you. Maybe they give him a Fortnite tactical pump shotgun. Oh my god. Master
Ninja is actually like one of the first guardians that you'll encounter in the Final Horizon, most likely, and that's when you'll first figure out, oh, this shit is hard.
I think
because the thing moves like lightning fast across the map.
I mean even with like the tower one, because like that one's pretty much impossible to get any amount of damage on, because like they'll stop for a little bit. They'll do that like stomp attack with like a bunch of like spikes coming out that like stops them for a bit, but then like after like a second they just go flying around all over the place, like halfway across the map, and you just can't keep up with them.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. They cranked the difficulty up like so far and so hard too, and it's not even worth it because you don't get like an additional reward for beating one. It's still a fucking portal gear.
Yeah, you just
singular portal gear.
You just get portal gears again.
So it's useless because you can just go kill something like a normal enemy for it.
Yeah,
or you can go find them inside the treasure icons.
Yeah, no, this is how I found the actual Final Horizon got rid of overworld enemies just in general. All the
really?
All there is are the Guardians.
Everything's Guardians.
So it's more empty.
There's a lot more obstacle courses for each of the characters.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
it is kind of cool, and some of them are legitimately fun. And they do color code some, like the pink one you use as Amy, the red one you use as Knuckles.
I do think the obstacle courses are preferable to having random fucking enemies everywhere, in my opinion, because the enemies are kind of boring to fight, in my opinion. At least in the base game.
Yeah.
They're just kind of they're really like you can kind of be mindless with them pretty easily.
To
STEM.
They still it's
And like cool obstacle courses and set pieces are one of the reasons I like the 3D Sonic games so much. Shit like the helicopter scene in fucking Speed Highway in Sonic Adventure. Is that 2 or 1? I don't remember.
1.
Yeah.
Speed Highway
2 I remember them based off of the order they appear in Sonic Generations. Because Escape from the City comes right after.
Right.
And then Seaside Hill?
Yeah. From Heroes.
From Heroes, the opening course from Heroes. Then Rooftop Run?
Station Heroes,
Is it Rooftop Run after that?
No, it's Crisis City.
Yeah, it's Crisis City.
Oh yeah, from Sonic 06, then it's Rooftop Run.
And then it's Planet Wisp.
Dude, Crisis City's soundtrack is what got me hooked on drum and bass as a kid.
It is actually a good track.
Dude, Sonic 06's soundtrack is honestly banging. It's really good.
I guess.
Too bad the game sucks.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we got Project 06 for that.
Yeah.
That's true. It's better than Final Horizon. Oh, did I say that out loud? It's just not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that Final Horizon was just not good because I was expecting a lot more from it and just expecting a better execution from it. But
well, this is Sonic Team, so set your expectations low.
Yeah, I would, but like, I enjoyed the base game, so I would have thought like it would have been on the similar level, but it's like not even close. That's
like I think it's because it really came as an afterthought.
Probably. They did put a lot of effort into making it the hardest thing possible. But
well, it doesn't really take effort to make something really hard. It takes more effort to balance it and make it reasonable.
Oh yeah, you know, that's a fair point.
Like just look at League of Legends. They're notoriously considered lazy because they are unable to balance jack shit. They will either make champions way too overpowered or way too underpowered, and it's because they don't. I was talking with my roommate about this. She literally said, "Oh yeah, the reason I think is because they probably don't actually play the game when they make the shit. They probably just make the shit without anyone playtesting it."
Oh, I could buy that.
Just like Sonic.
I mean, that might explain because it might have a point there.
I don't. Sonic Team might not be playing the game before they fucking do it too. Considering how bad the first gameplay trailer was.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Like,
it was like watching. It was like watching XQZ play a game.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that gameplay trailer wasn't even focused on gameplay. I think they were just like, "Hey, look at the graphics of the Hedgehog Engine 2."
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was more of a graphical demo than a gameplay demo. They wanted to show off. And granted, this game looks pretty solid for being a game that is able to run on last gen hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I have heard the PC port for this one sucks. Right? Am I wrong about that?
I think it's a Switch port.
Oh yeah, the Switch port's the one that sucks. But the Switch port, that makes sense because the hardware is ass.
Oh
Is that fucking Among Us?
I would.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I can see it a little bit.
I have a couple Among Us characters hanging from the fridge by magnets in my apartment. As well as a little magnet that says "My mom loves drinking wine" on it, and it's a kid's drawing. It's fucking phenomenal. But yeah. God, the fucking Among Us puzzle. Do you think that do you think Sonic Team vented the writer of Sonic Forces after its backlash?
I mean, that's why they got Ian Flynn to do this one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they vented the old guy into space.
They ejected him.
Yeah, he was an imposter.
Did I say vented him? Oh,
yeah.
God. No, I meant ejected.
Well, no, if he vented, that means he's an imposter. So
he's sus.
Yeah, Among Us.
Sussy Becky.
He's so sus. He probably participates in the Sonic inflation on DeviantArt. Oh god!
Like how you started regretting slowly what you were saying.
It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. I swear.
Oh man.
Oh look, balls.
Yeah, but from what I heard about how Ian Flynn wrote this story is like, Sonic Team had an idea like how to basically video game-ize the story, right? It's just that Ian Flynn had to basically do everything else, like the character interactions, and how to pace it out slowly.
And unfortunately, there's still some very big flaws in the storytelling methods of this game. But
that's what we call Sonic Team.
I saw a video. I think.
Granted, the game that inspired it also had a really poor method of telling the story, with Breath of the Wild having probably the worst storytelling method of any Zelda game. At least in my opinion, like, because at least the other games that suck at it don't really have a story to tell. Like the OG Zelda didn't really have a story, so it didn't need to have those methods. And the original Zelda was all based around gameplay. That's why it's so cool to go back. I was talking with my dad about how when he was a kid, he beat it with his friends who had a Super Nintendo. And that was pretty cool to talk about, because it was like, dude, I got stumped by that game. Granted, I was playing it without Googling anything, and without the instruction manual.
Well, that was your first mistake.
That's true. Yeah. But I did manage to beat it. And it is fucking cool.
Yeah. What were you saying, Josh?
I was gonna say I saw a video the other day of someone talking about how like cutscenes in Sonic games have been like getting worse. I guess because you can kind of see it a lot in Frontiers, and especially with the Final Horizons update and stuff, is that like a lot of the cutscenes are just characters standing around and talking and just not really like animating very well. When if you compare it to cutscenes with like Sonic Unleashed or even Sonic Lost World and stuff, like it just feels like there's not really a lot of effort put into it.
Sonic Colors was also really lazy in most of the cutscenes.
Well, there are barely any cutscenes in the first place.
Yeah, and most of them are like Sonic Unleashed. I still thoroughly believe has, and maybe my view on the cutscenes is tainted by the fact that it has probably one of the coolest opening cinematics in my brain for like game history. Because the Sonic Unleashed intro is just fucking cool.
It is, but that's also
like it was animated in like 2020. But it was in 2008.
Yeah,
and it looks better than a lot of large scale studio production animations.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who said that?
Oh, it looks so much better than like modern Marvel does.
And he was talking about stuff with like how, you know, also with like Sonic's models kind of been like kind of Sonic's model has been like changing to like not be as detailed, because like Sonic Unleashed, like the Unleashed Sonic model was like super high poly, like it was basically what like Marza used and stuff. But then like over time throughout the games, he's been kind of getting a little less detail, and even now, so with like Sonic like Forces and Frontiers giving him shorter quills and stuff, like that also kind of removes some polish.
And what I don't get is why they don't resort to cell shading for a Sonic game, because I think it would look really good. I think proper cell shading. I think it would look really cool on Sonic, because like his quills and the shadows of those would look really well defined. Plus, it would make it so that people didn't complain about the texture quality on it.
Yeah, and I actually know it would look good, because there's a mod for Frontiers that basically makes Sonic look exactly like the Sonic Adventure art, like render art style and stuff, and it looks really good.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
As long as and I'm not going to complain because we've seen what really bad Sonic looks like with the original movie Sonic.
Oh yeah, no,
like put him into into Frontiers, right? The movie Sonic. I swear somebody did, like the old movie Sonic.
Yeah,
Ugly Sonic, as he's been dubbed.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because you guys saw that he made the cameo he made in the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
it was that shit caught me off guard when I watched that movie. I mean, I was like not awake while watching the movie, but I kind of like snapped into conscious. Like I was basically falling asleep because it was not. I didn't really like the movie, but Sonic came on screen.
Sonic jump scare.
I lost my shit. That was the best part of the whole movie.
Sonic jump scare.
Sonic reawakened.
I feel so bad for whoever designed that model and then had the entire internet fucking get angry at their work, because it was probably like one or two people that had to design it based off of Sega telling them, or the fucking movie studio telling them to do something.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't even their call. Like, they probably made a good design, and then like the fucking movie studio was like, "Oh, we don't like this," or whatever, and kept making them redesign it until it looked like a fucking eldritch horror. I would feel so sad if I put so much work into that shitty character design against my will to make it better.
They really went super.
And then had to reanimate like the entire fucking movie, or redesign it, and then make all of my peers reanimate the entire movie.
Right. There are some like deleted scenes from the original movie that still, because it just didn't have the time to do that. Because I still remember the original release of the Sonic movie was supposed to be November of 2019.
It was.
After, after they all got delayed, it got delayed to February 2020.
It is crazy how fast they cranked and fixed that shit.
It really is
absolutely insane. Like, nobody ever talks about it anymore, but like that's probably some of the craziest like post-production hustle I've seen.
Because like they had to make like a whole like new model for it and like render it in the scene and maybe even like re-rig it so it actually like worked with the animations that the movie already had and stuff. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. And granted, Sonic 2 looks a lot better because they didn't have to rush that production process.
Right.
Sonic 2 is actually a really good-looking movie. It's a really good movie in general.
You're right. Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for the third one.
Yeah, you can. You're waiting right now.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Can I put my balls in your jaw?